Welcome to another edition of Smalltalk for you. This morning I wanted to go back to the case statement sketch that I did in BA Smalltalk, mainly because after we did that there were some emails that came in saying, well, you advised heavily against using case statements, but you did say that there might be cases where you could use them and they might be useful. What are those? Well, a couple of examples came in through email. I thought of a couple more. Maybe if you're doing something that calls an external program, here I'm kind of simulating that just by generating a random number between 1 and 10. You could imagine an application that runs and returns a status code, then you need to do something based on the status code. Well, here I'm going to get back 1 to 10. I need to do different things. Or you might be parsing keyboard shortcuts. You might get Control A, Control B, Control C. And in that case, you'd have some big, long, convoluted if true, if false setup. It doesn't really make sense to use polymorphism there because you're then going to have to define a double dispatch thing to have logical equivalences between the keyboard characters that come in and match them up to symbols, and then you perform them. It ends up being more convoluted than something straightforward like this. So in cases where polymorphism isn't natural, you might want to do something like this. So here, again, we're going to simulate this random number statement being the value that comes in, and then we're just going to switch on the values. So we'll go ahead and execute this. And if we look up here in the transcript, we see that we have 8. So let's erase everything so you can see that more cleanly. And we'll go ahead and do it again. Execute. And again, we get 1. So the idea is that if you have a small number of cases that are available to you, but they're large enough that having a cascading if true or false is ugly, and they don't map easily to symbolic names other than setting up some dictionary and a set of perform statements, and that might end up being more convoluted looking and harder to understand than this, a case statement might actually be of value to you. And the sketch I showed you last time is perfectly valid for that kind of thing. And you see this code is pretty straightforward and easy to see what's going on. So while it's not useful for everything, and you shouldn't need to pull one out very often, there are some limited cases where you might want to have a case statement even in Smalltalk. So that's about it for today. Until next time, have fun with whatever Smalltalk you're using.